Okay, we get another round of applause for Vicky, please.
Thank you.
Okay, Vicky. So first of all, can you tell us how did you come to? I mean, I can see why you're fascinated with the place, but how did you come to hear of the place? How did you come to want to make a film about this place?
So, a good friend of mine is a researcher in sort of Arctic regions and mining and bad mining practices around the world. And she told me about this city called Norilsk, which is closed to any foreign person. You need a special permission from like the Russian version of the FBI to get in there. And as soon as she said this to me, I was like, oh, I want to go in. I want to find out more. So I studied Russian at university, so anything to do with Russia really fascinates me. So that's like the first seed of why I wanted to go there. And the fact that it was so difficult to get permission to get there. It took about a year and over a year calling the mining company every day to ask for permission. I think that grew and grew my interest in why is this place closed to foreigners. I think that question really stood with me until the end.
So, I mean, perhaps it's worth pointing out, can you sort of explain where exactly geographically this place is and why it's so difficult? I mean, they mentioned, some of the characters mention it in there, that the land is actually owned by the company.
Yeah, the land's owned by the mining company. It's the most northern city in the world, over 100,000 people, 150,000 people live there. It's 600 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, and the only way to get there is like a plane which comes out quite rarely out of Moscow or other Russian cities, or by an icebreaker, sort of by the Arctic sea route. So it's difficult to get there. And also, as soon as you land in the airport, police come and you have interviewed by the police for about an hour before you get in, with permissions already. But so it's quite difficult to get to.
So, I mean, ostensibly the reason you've gone there is to explore these bad practices, bad mining practices.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that really sticks with you though is just it's the sense of place, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Really, it seems like that was just an excuse for you to get there and sort of be surrounded by that sense of place there.
I was just curious. I was very inspired by. Well, first of all, I wanted to say there were 4 people in the team originally. So it's me, the camera guy, and 2 researchers. The researchers were denied entry because no foreign independent researchers are allowed into the city at all. And they must have looked at my curriculum and thought that I was, quite trustworthy. They said that the other 2 were dubious members, and so they weren't allowed in.
The reason being, the presumption being that they would be investigating the bad
Exactly.
practices.
Maybe that they were going to test the soil or something, because all the statistics about this place are made by, they're not by someone who actually knows the place. The people who made the statistics can't go in the place. They're made by people in Canada or Norway that can't get in. And it's very rare for people to... So I don't know, all of this just made it really interesting to me. I wanted to find out more. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to see if there are any questions from the audience first, before we carry on. Is there anybody at this stage would like to ask Vicky about her work? No, they're warming up. No, you got one?
Why did they eventually let you in? You asked and asked and asked.
Ooh, I called every day, various times a day, for about over a year. And I think I just became so annoying. And a week before they actually gave us permission, they said, there's nothing else we can do for you. I'm afraid you're just not going to get in. And I think I started calling about 10 times a day. And then finally we were like, oh, for God's sake, okay, fine. But you have to come here in the next 2 weeks, otherwise you won't get the permission. So I had to leave everything and sort of get a plane and go. It's just, yeah. Yes?
Yeah, shout it out.
While you were there, could you move around No. The first day we could, but then the second day we started being followed by the mining company. In fact, the dead tree, the cemetery of dead trees, we had to film at 4 a.m. Before they picked us up at 9 a.m. to follow where we were going. Or at 2 a.m, a lot of the shots of the smoke were at 2 or 4 a.m. in the morning. Because, they'd follow us everywhere. By the end of the week, because I'd say I absolutely love the place, I think it's fascinating, I love it, I love the people, blah, 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 they started to leave us alone, so they'd accompany us for a few hours. But at the beginning, it was quite, every day they'd be there. But yeah, they treated us a bit like we were a bit stupid, so anyway, it's not about the mining company, so I don't think they will be too upset. Yeah.
Did we got another question?
Sorry.
What did they think that you were doing there? What did you say you were going to do?
I wanted to, what I told them I was going to do is actually what I ended up doing. I wanted to find out how people viewed their own city and not lie about it. I don't want to show that this is a horrible place and people feel pity for themselves, which they don't. They actually do love it. And I wanted to explore the beauty that one feels for their own land, however horrible or stressful or whatever it may be. And I hope that that's what came out. And really to discover the circumstances as to why they find it beautiful or warming or touching or whatever. But yeah, to discover that psychological thing behind it. Yeah.
Yep, got another question.
Well, funnily enough, they have all grown up there. But the interesting thing is, because they live in the Arctic North, they get 2 months paid holiday, everyone who lives there. And those who live in the mine get 3 months paid holiday and free tickets to go anywhere. Well, they'll give them free tickets to. So a lot of them actually spend 2 months in Barcelona or 2 months in Sochi or wherever they want. They actually do travel around a lot more than any other Russians, maybe, because they do have paid 2-3 month holidays. So I'm making a feature film about this. It will come out in that. And I found even more fascinating that having seen so much more than the average Russian, they still had this really strong attachment to this land. And they didn't look at what it was doing to their health, and they don't really care. But do we care, really? I don't think we care either. I think we just talk a lot and don't really care. Really.
And so, I mean, you say this is almost an entry into a longer piece. How has that come about? How have you logistically sort of timed that for yourself? Have you shot all the footage already? Is it going to require another trip? Or?
I'd love another trip, but I need to time that because I don't know if they're going to let me in again if they see this, if they find something.
They didn't ask to review footage or anything like this?
No, but we did have 6 different hard drives which we would hide around the flat, and we would like put them in different places just in case. So every time we'd see like a hole in the in the wall, we'd think there was a microphone or something. But they didn't ask us anything at the airport. It was like really chilled, which is really funny.
A bit disappointing.
Yeah, it was a bit of a letdown, really.
I think we had a couple more questions in the middle. Yep, Antonio, shoot.
So how did you, I mean, it must have been a very expensive trip. How did you fund it? You said the New York Times.
Well, yeah, so the New York Times funded the short film. We're looking into seeing what else can be funded, and we're going to do a Kickstarter to fund for it, the feature film, or going back there. And it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be, actually. It was only a group of 2 of us and a local fixer, and it was we did it pretty on the cheap, actually. Wouldn't complain. But yeah.
Any more questions for Vicky?
We were there a month because the Russian visa is a month, and I just need to get another one to go back there. But yeah.
So was your plan to get in there for as long as your visa was?
So it's a different permit to get into the city of Norilsk than to get into Russia itself. So Russia, you get there for a month. That's your tourist visa. The Norilsk one, once you get given admission in the secret police office, whatever the FSB kind of judges you, and you're allowed in as long as you want, but you can't stay longer than a month because that's against your visa, right? So, but yeah, we'd need to reapply to go back there, and God knows how long that's going to take.
Once you were there, the FSB didn't have any problem. Were you staying until the end of your visa?
No, once we were let in, we were fine. It was easy. It was getting there that was hard. Being there was fine. Yeah.
Okay, so when can we expect to see this published, and when can we expect to hear a bit more about the feature, or possible feature?
So it's going to be on the OpDocs website in July, if all goes well, and on New York Times OpDocs channel, and then the feature film will keep updated. I don't know. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll all know, because I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to be this month. I don't know when, but it will happen. So So it's happening.
Excellent. Cool. Well, keep us posted, and
Yes.
we'll definitely reblog your Kickstarter video when it comes
Thank
out.
you.
Can you give Vicky another round of applause?